Hello, neighbors. Welcome back to the neighborhood. I'm Squealer D and I'm back again. Today we're back for day 2 of the 12 days of Slobmas. If you missed day 1, you can catch up in the Slobmas playlist linked in the description box below. Now let's get into this. On the second day of Slobmas, Squealer D brings to thee cooking with Jack and the slobs of the Elliott family. Ooh-wee. Today's slob is Jack Scalfani from the Cooking with Jack show, a cooking channel that Jack started posting to in 2007. In the 17 years since then, How to Cut a Pineapple has gotten over 3 million views, and Cut an Onion Without Crying has amassed over 6.5 million views. That might lead some to think that Jack is a pro chef, but actually, Jack is the opposite of a chef and is more well known for his many blunders than any type of cooking success. Instead of a legacy of recipes and videos that will be treasured for years to come, Jack has created a 17-year-long food diary, consistently showing the viewers what not to do when it comes to cooking, health, or family. There are plenty of informational and entertaining videos on Jack from other YouTubers, like August the Duck, who has made a plethora of videos on Jack and has many more subscribers than me. So if you enjoy the Jack Scalfani rabbit hole and want to see more, there's plenty out there. Now let's break things down and see just how slobby Jack Scalfani really is. In his About section, it says, Jack Scalfani shows you recipes you can do, cooking tips you will love, and brutally honest product reviews. In reality, Jack's videos show you lazy man recipes that when eaten regularly will literally kill you, cooking tips that could cause salmonella.
Now I want to give you a cooking tip. It's really simple. If there's a spot of red in your chicken, when you cut into it, literally 1 minute in the microwave, boof, just pops it right out. It'll cook it the rest of the way. It won't dry it out. That's a good tip. I promise you it'll work. And don't panic. It's not a big deal, okay?
Don't listen to Jack, neighbors. Microwaves heat from the outside in instead of the inside out. This means that their heat does not always kill bacteria. Before eating chicken, you need to cook it thoroughly to eliminate all present bacteria. Since microwaves don't fully or evenly cook all parts of the meat, you're more likely to be left with surviving bacteria, such as salmonella. In one study, out of 30 participants who reheated raw meat, all 10 who used a microwave became ill, whereas the 20 who used a skillet were fine. When in doubt, opt for stovetop. And product reviews of items he doesn't even know how to use, let alone give a brutally honest review about.
Cut right into this. Look how juicy it is. Look at the pool of, look at that. That's great. This did a great job. Didn't cook well right there, so I'm not going to eat that. See how that is?
It didn't cook well, but it did a great job? How can anyone trust a review like that? Let's start at the beginning. In 1990, Jack had his first son, Garrett, at 23 years old with his ex. In 1993, Jack met Tammy, his current wife. In 1998, Jack married Tammy, and in February of 2000, they had his second son, Jack Jr. In the early 2000s, Jack and 2 of his brothers started a sauce company called The Best Sauce You'll Ever Taste. At one point, they sold in stores, but the company dissolved around 2021, so I don't know if you can actually find some these days. Don't worry, you aren't missing anything. The reviews are horrible, and Jack himself rarely ever used his own sauces when cooking. Just look at the ingredients. The first ingredient is cheap commercial tomato ketchup, and don't forget all the high fructose corn syrup. In 2006, Jack started the Cooking with Jack show and posted his first videos in 2007. He mostly posted how-to videos from the point of view of someone who knows very little about the kitchen, let alone cooking, as a way to promote his sauces and brand, not because he cared about cooking or learning to cook. It was around this time that Jack also nearly strangled his 16-year-old son Garrett to death for allegedly raging out on Tammy after smoking some marijuana. The boy went to live elsewhere from then on out. Jack admitted to strangling his son during a 2015 Christian podcast appearance he did with his wife Tammy.
We did a great job parenting. He had a great home life. He had everything his heart desired. He never went without. He started to hang out with the wrong crowd. He chose to hang out with his friends and become who they were. So we got him into building computers. And I took him to a shop in Huntington Beach every 3 times a week. He was interning there. They were teaching him how to put it all together. And that was where he learned how to smoke pot. It escalated, and he started cursing at Tammy and me and having rage issues. And he put his hands on Tammy, pushed her up against the door, and I took him to the ground, and I was going to kill him. I was choking him out. I was choking him and screaming in his ears, "You don't ever touch a woman. You don't ever touch a woman." At the top of my voice, I was choking him so hard, his nose started to bleed. I didn't know when to stop. The interesting thing was, Garrett never fought me, never pushed back, never tried to hurt me or hit me. He completely submitted.
Strangling his son into submission wasn't the only thing Jack revealed in this podcast. He also revealed he believes in genocide, and he will not attend a church where the preacher performs gay marriages.
So we sit down, and Pastor Davis gets up there, and he's like, first thing I hear him say, "We need to napalm the Palestinians." I'm like, I look at my honey, I'm like, honey, did he just say, did the pastor just say we need to like wipe out a whole, everybody like over there?
Yeah,
and he's
for
like,
5 minutes.
And I'm like, I stood up. Where do I sign up? Just take all my money, do whatever. Seriously.
I mean, because Jack had one question that he would always know to ask a pastor.
It's will you conduct a gay marriage? Mm-hmm. It's really simple. It's the one question you can ask any church, and it tells you everything about the church. I want to go on record, and I want to say homosexuality is a sexual preference. It is not a lifestyle. It is not a culture.
Strong opinions from two intolerable humans who expect others to tolerate them. In a January 2009 blog post, Jack wrote that he woke up at 4:30 a.m. on October 10, 2008, and half of his body had no feeling. It lasted 20 minutes, and after a visit to the ER and over 12 hours later, the doctor still didn't know the reason for his numbness. Rather than take the meds prescribed by the doctor on duty and try to change his life to prevent further strokes, Jack discarded the pills the doctor gave him because he obviously knows more, and spent the rest of the blog complaining about having to pay the $100 deductible for the ER visit. It's no wonder that nearly 3 years later, on July 11, 2011, he experienced another stroke. This time, he posted a video on YouTube explaining what happened.
And so I'm driving along, right, and I'm pounding a Starbucks, and then later on, I do a 5-hour energy drink, and that was kind of the last straw. Those things aren't really good for you. I'm driving, I'm almost at Vegas, and I'm driving like this, and my hand just does this. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. Okay. So I put my hand back on the wheel, and I'm driving, and I get into Vegas about 1 in the morning, and we get in the room, and I just crash. I'm just tired. So then 3:30 in the morning, I wake up. I'm laying in bed, and I go to scratch my chest, and it's like, I can't get my hand to my chest. So then I get out of bed, I'm a little freaked out, and I stand up, and my right leg is not working, and my right arm, my whole right side, not good. So bottom line is, go to the ER. I found out that I had a mild stroke on my left side. If you could have a stroke, it was the best stroke you could ever have. It was a wake-up call from God that I was blowing it. So a mixture of the stress and a mixture of the caffeine and a mixture of the energy drinks, and pow, that was it. So
according to Jack, his stroke was from energy drinks, and those things are bad for you. So that means his stroke had nothing to do with all of the extra weight he carries around as an aging lad, thanks to years of his very own lazy man diet. And let me guess, his stroke had nothing to do with anything he did in his first 100 episodes on the Cooking with Jack show. On February 11, 2011, just 5 months before his stroke in July, Jack released his 100th episode.
The Italian pork sausage wrapped in bacon. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Wait till you see this. Wow, look at them bad boys. Wow, I don't know what you guys are going to eat. I'm eating this whole plate. Ow, okay. Look at that. Woohoo! First cut of the day. I've shown you how to fillet your thumb. Let's try and fillet this fish. And I have no idea how to do this.
Go.
It's a pastry dessert.
1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Good. You didn't tell me it was just squirt. Okay.
Oh, this is awesome. I can't believe how good it tastes.
I need a napkin. Mmm. 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 Wow. That was good. Yeah. You want to buy it?
We can confirm by watching the videos from 2007 to 2011 and by visually looking at his portly stature that Jack does not eat healthy all of the time. Obesity is a well-known risk factor for stroke. So why, when given the chance to recognize the severity of the problem and make changes, did Jack decide to blame energy drinks and keep trucking on with filming himself make horrible food choices daily, Perhaps it's because Jack is a bad person, and sometimes bad people do things that normal people will never understand. Let's keep going and see if we can figure it out. At this point, 2011, Jack was 44 years old, overweight, and had already had what looks like at least 2 strokes. His nearly 5-year-old YouTube channel was picking up steam, but by his 100th episode, he only had about 14,000 subscribers. He was by no means a YouTube star at this point. Why didn't Jack use this opportunity to educate himself about the benefits of losing weight and having a healthy diet after a stroke, and teach his mostly male audience valuable life-saving tips along the way? My guess is because Jack isn't just a slob or a bad cook, but a very bad person. In 2014, he did a 4-month no red meat or pork diet with blood work and posted the results online for the world to see.
My numbers got worse. My diabetic numbers, which has to do with my glucose and hemoglobins, should be under 6. In October, I was looking really good, and then February, wow, not good at all. I have no idea what caused that. So it was not a good, what I would say, a good test, meaning that red meat and pork had no effect. In fact, had a worse effect, removing it from my diet. So I'm implementing that back in.
Jack came to the conclusion that because his numbers had gotten worse during the 4 months while he wasn't eating red meat and pork, that it must mean that he should be a carnivore and only eat red meat and pork. He didn't think it could be all the unhealthy food from the Cooking with Jack show, like country fried monster wings, bullseye peanut butter balls, jerk monster wings, spicy white chicken chili, ice cream bread, Lazy Man's chicken and stuffing, shrimp cornbread stuffing, Lazy Man's berry almond cake, or smoked turkey. That couldn't be the reason, right? Jack also moved from California to Tennessee and bought his first home in 2014. In 2015, Jack appeared on a TV show called West Texas Investors Club. He took his sauce line and tried to make a deal. He ended up losing a barbecue cook-off while on the show, and the judges told him his best sauce you'll ever taste were too sweet. He didn't get a deal because they didn't want his sauces. They wanted his YouTube channel. When Jack said no way, they accused him of only coming on the show to gain publicity for his YouTube channel. This made Jack cry on national TV.
Your love is that YouTube, and being on the show could probably help your YouTube deal way more.
You guys don't know me.
I know.
I am real.
I know.
I am real. So sad, so sad. In 2016, he made a video trying to use cayenne pepper to wash out his pink eye infection because teaching young men how to eat unhealthy and cook food improperly wasn't bad enough. He thought he'd teach people to stick non-sterile kitchen ingredients in their eyes. Be advised, don't do what Jack does. In 2018, at 50 years old, Jack had another stroke, this time permanently disabling his right arm. 4 months later, in October of 2018, he had to have surgery to remove kidney stones. In December of 2020, Jack had surgery on his thyroid. According to him, they removed half of his thyroid due to a growth. In 2021, Jack told his viewers he was going to start a weight loss program called Profile Sanford. You can see in the following years of YouTube videos that Jack doesn't lose anything on this diet and actually appears to gain weight. His wife, Tammy, who did the program also, actually did lose weight during this time, meaning the issue wasn't the program, but Jack himself. In August of 2021, Jack was back in the ER for either a ruptured gallbladder or gallstones again. And in November of that same year, he underwent surgery to fix a hernia. In January of 2023, Jack suffered yet another stroke, this time with a heart attack. He was in a wheelchair and spent months recovering in a nursing home. In April of 2023, he updated the channel about his nursing home progress. And in May, he was released from the nursing home and finally went back home. One of his first videos posted after leaving the nursing home was titled "Out of the Nursing Home Ribs," because someone who just had a major stroke and heart attack and spent months in inpatient care really needs to chomp down on some hearty ribs as soon as they get home, right? In June of 2023, just weeks after being released from the nursing home, Jack and Tammy had to move from their home of nearly 10 years and move in with their son, Jack Jr., and his wife, who married in 2020. Most likely due to money issues, as Jack's channel was no longer getting the high views it once got.
This kitchen you're seeing is just temporary. It's the kids' kitchen. We'll be building our kitchen on the property. So I'll show you that when it's done.
In January of 2024, Jack announced he was starting the carnivore diet. Somehow, though, he still makes and eats sweet treats on the channel. In August of 2024, Jack and Tammy moved again, this time into a bigger house with Jack Jr. and his wife. Over the many years Jack has been filming, he's never lost a significant amount of weight, no matter what type of diet he claimed to be on. He never learned to cook properly, regularly making inedible food, and yet he continues to promote the lazy man lifestyle that got him to where he is today. Like I said before, perhaps Jack is more than just a slob or a bad cook. Perhaps Jack is a bad person who doesn't think certain people have a right to live and should be napalmed, who strangles children in fits of rage, who films himself making gluttonous meals and gaining weight because he makes money to do it, who has documented nearly every effect of obesity you can have on his Cooking with Jack show. Yet he pretends his medical problems aren't related to his horrible lifestyle, and God will heal it without him having to put in the hard work and dedication. Some slobs have a dirty house, and some slobs sell slob merch like Jack on a channel dedicated to his 17-year-long mukbang with a side of strokes. At this point, I think Jack needs to change his about section to Jack Scalfani, shows you recipes you can do if you don't care about your health, cooking tips that will do more harm than help, and bought and paid for product reviews by someone who is here solely to make money. That's it for today's video, neighbors. I'll see you all tomorrow on day 3 of Slobmas. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Cooking with Jack show and who you think will be the star of day 3 of Slobmas tomorrow. Have a great day, neighbors. Bye!